have, here, let me move this so we can have this video going so perfectly. Thank you so much for being on this call, Jenelle. And we are recording because I know that we always catch a bunch more people on the recording. But as you guys know, Jenelle Summers is in this business, and I should have had you written out your rank. I apologize that I did not have you do this for me, but I know that Jenelle Summers, you are the first person to do Superstar 3, right?
Yes.
So she's a superstar diamond in 3 business centers, the first person ever to do that, which is just like remarkable. I was talking with some of my coaches just at this leadership retreat and telling them how of all these people that I admire in this business, Jenelle Summers is like one of my top like 3 people because I just see that she's somebody who I see is constantly looking at how can I improve, like what can I do to like move my business forward and not get complacent. And that comes from a real like deep desire and passion to really help people and to work with them and not just, I'm here to make a quick buck. I just want to make money, because then if you just make your money, then you're done. You know, that drive is gone. So she's proven by the results that she's had in her business that, you know, her heart is in the right place and that this is something she's really passionate about. So she's someone I greatly admire, and I'm honored that she would be on our team call today and that she agreed to do this. And I'm excited about the topic. She's going to talk to us about like pages, which is amazing because I have always admired her like page. I know that's been a great way for her to build her business. And I know it's something we get a lot of questions about. So Jenelle, I'm going to go ahead and pass the time over to you and just kind of let you take it away.
Awesome. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for that introduction. I mean, I completely adore you, and listening to you speak at leadership this past weekend, I mean, everyone was just blown away by your presentation. You guys listening to this live or on a recording, you are so blessed to have Brigitte as your leader in this business. She leads by example. She leads with her heart, and everything that she does, everything that I've seen, even before, like, we ever started communicating with Brigitte, I was looking at you from afar, just like, my gosh, she's awesome. She is so awesome. I mean, everything that she trains on and that she presents on, I mean, you just feel it. It's so impactful and it's so real and so raw. And I can't tell you how many people are just have so much respect, obviously, including myself, for Brigitte, and you guys are very lucky. So I really hope that you're always taking full advantage of listening to what she's teaching you and not taking that for granted, because there are so many coaches out there that have joined someone that is not really working the business and doesn't approach the business the way that Brigitte does, and they feel lost for that reason. So just know that you are with an awesome leader, and Brigitte, I really appreciate and feel honored to speak on this call today.
Thank you.
So thank you. So I will get into the meat of the subject. So we're going to talk about like pages. And I want to just say, when I started off this business, first of all, if any of you know my story, I was not even on social media when I started coaching, okay? I, in fact, am pretty sure I was already diamond before I got on social media. So what that should tell you is that even within your warm market of people, because I did do that critical activity in the beginning where I made a list of, Matt and I sat down and we made a list of everyone we knew, because we were ready to go all in. We believed in this. We were both working full time, working crazy hours, being a parent to our son and just crazy busy. But we were like, we've got to do this. We need this for us, and we believed in the business, and so we went all in. And so we made a list of everyone we knew, and I just started reaching out to people, and just my pure excitement over the business, that got me to diamond, that alone, not even being on social media and, meeting different people, which is awesome. But I just want you to not underestimate the power of knowing the people that you already know in your life, and to not brush off, your aunt or your second cousin who you maybe haven't talked to in a few years, or that person that you so admired 5 years ago, but you just haven't kept in touch with because you're so far away or whatever. Just not underestimate all these people that you do know and just reaching out to them. But what a like page does for you is it gets you to build your network at obviously a level way beyond your inner circle. And when you're building your network well beyond your inner circle, well beyond that list of everyone you've known in your life for years, that's when your business has the potential, has the opportunity to grow to star diamond world and really take off as a thriving business. Now, some of you that are listening on the call, you may be brand new coaches, okay? And so all of this is, new to you and kind of overwhelming. You might not feel like you're ready to build that network out yet. And that's okay. I always tell my brand new coaches, I personally feel like the like page is key in building a business, but it's not everything. And it's not something you necessarily need to do when you're brand new as a coach. Because when you're brand new as a coach, typically, and you guys may be different, but typically my coaches coming into the business, they were like me, where they weren't posting on Facebook on a regular basis. They might be on Facebook, but they weren't using it on a regular basis. They were occasionally posting about the kids, maybe about the dogs, just, mainly just reading Facebook posts, but they weren't on a regular basis consistently posting. And that is normal. That's very, very common. And so when it comes to a like page is something to take, seriously, that this is, it's like it's almost like opening your storefront, kind of like a blog. It's basically a blog, in a sense. And so you have to have, I think it's important before you start a like page that you kind of get in your groove in an environment where you know the people that are seeing your posts. So in other words, from your personal page, I think it's important to kind of get in your groove of posting on your personal page before you start using and opening a like page. Because I think it's important for you to understand who your market is and what kinds of things people like to hear from you and what kinds of posts do really well and what kind of posts don't do really well. I think it's important to use your personal page to figure some of that stuff out, because your like page is where you're going to take what you've learned about yourself and what you've learned people want to hear and what you've learned people want to talk about and what you've learned people want to say, and you explode that on your like page. And it's not necessarily going to be just about fitness and nutrition. You've got to be original and have some. It's just going to be you, it's got to be you. And so that process of kind of self-discovery in what you have to offer as a coach comes out, in my opinion, on your personal page. The way that social media works, the way that Facebook works, is that you have and I'm sure you guys already know this, I'm sure Brigitte has already trained you on this, but you have what's called EdgeRank or Facebook affinity. And it's like Facebook's behind the scenes popularity ranking system, in a sense. Because what Facebook does on a regular basis is it's constantly tracking and analyzing who interacts with your personal page or your like page, okay? It's constantly looking at that. So when you look at your own newsfeed on a day-to-day basis, Facebook is bringing to your newsfeed who it thinks you want to see and posts it thinks you want to see, okay? And Facebook bases that decision on a couple of things. It bases the decision on who it sees that you interact with on Facebook, you like on their stuff, you comment on their stuff. And it also looks to see who is logging in at the same time as you, who has a popular post going. So in other words, you may log in and Facebook shows you on your newsfeed that someone has just gotten married. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, I haven't seen a post from that person in like a year. And here you're seeing this post that they just got married. And you're probably thinking, wow, how did that post, come to my newsfeed? Well, it's not because you normally interact with this person, because you don't, but you logged in at a time where this post was really going viral because it's someone getting married. So Facebook brought it to your newsfeed because it feels like, okay, this is a viral post. People are liking and commenting on it like crazy. We're going to bring it to pretty much everyone's newsfeed that this person is friends with because it's a relevant, popular post. Okay, so what does that mean for you? That means that on your personal page, you've already built up with some affinity. You've already built up a history of who you normally interact with on Facebook and who normally interacts with you, so that when you post something, Facebook right away says, okay, Jenelle just posted, this post, and this many people are logging into Facebook right now that she normally interacts with. And so right away, Facebook says, we're going to take that post of hers to their news feeds. If I'm someone that's really inactive on Facebook, it's going to bring my post to like 3 people's news feeds. Even though I might interact with like 50 different people on Facebook, only a few of them are getting, logging in at any given time. So I might bring my post to like 3 people's news feeds. And so let's say those 3 people see my post. Let's say it's about my challenge group. I'm like, hey guys, I'm doing a challenge group. All you gotta do is buy Beachbody On Demand Challenge Pack. It starts on Monday, blah, blah, blah. So Facebook brings my post to those 3 people's news feeds. If they don't like or comment on it immediately, the post goes dead to the water, okay? Facebook just drops it, okay? So no one else sees the post. So us as new coaches, we can really feel defeated by that if you're starting out a like page and you haven't been using it consistently and you haven't been getting any interaction on it, and so therefore you're giving up on it, you're never posting on it. And so that can be really defeating, that you post about something that's really important to you and you really want people to see this because you know there's people on your like page that need help, and then you get no comments or likes, and it can be really defeating. But it has nothing to do with them not being interested in your challenge group. It has everything to do with the fact that you haven't been consistent on your like page, or maybe it's your personal page you haven't been consistent with. But for whatever reason, that lack of consistency and that lack of constantly providing good value and helpful stuff to people makes this post not get any traction. It doesn't make it to people's news feeds, okay? So that can be really devastating. So it's important to start where you have some history built up and you have a likelihood of actually knowing what people want to hear through your personal page. So for some people, you're ready to open up your like page in month 1 because you already are posting on Facebook all the time. You get it. You get what people like and what they don't like, and you're ready, okay? Start opening up your like page right away. For others, you're not used to using Facebook on a regular basis, kind of freaks you out, kind of, whatever. You got to get back into that groove and start posting a lot, figure things out, and then maybe in 2 months, start your like page, okay? So it's important to know, because once you start your like page, you have to be ready to commit to it. You can't just be like, I hope my like page works for me. No, you got to work your like page. You can't hope it works for you. You got to work it, right? So you have to be committed to it. And just like your business, you have to believe in your like page, okay? Again, it's kind of like your blog. So the reason that, like I said, the reason you would want to start a like page is because, number 1, it helps you build a bigger network outside of your inner circle. And one of the ways that you're able to do that more effectively is because of Facebook ads. So you're able to do Facebook ads and boosted posts only from a like page. So when you have a challenge group or you have a coach sneak peek, you want to do something like that, then you can boost the post or do a Facebook ad. Now, they can kind of be the same thing, one and the same. And doing Facebook ads and Facebook boosted posts is kind of like a whole other training in and of itself. And I'm sure you guys have trainings on that. And if you don't, feel free. I can give Brigitte the link and information to one of my Facebook ads and boosted posts training so that you can get training on that. But my point is, with a like page, you have that choice. And you can set the budget. Maybe you want to spend $50 a month on one ad that's about a coach sneak peek, or maybe you want to spend $100 a month. The nice thing with the Facebook ads is that you can target your market. You can target it to everyone who's already liked your page and their friends, or you can target it to just everyone who's already liked your page, or you can target it to a specified group, everyone who is between the ages of 25 and 35 who likes, Athleta. The brand Athleta that makes athletic wear. I think that's where this is from. So that made me think of that. So anyway, you can target your audience to specifically who you want to see that. I have to mention, it's not really part of this training, but I just have to mention, when you do that, think common sense. People who don't know you, even if it's a great ad, if they don't know you, they're not necessarily going to want to join a business with you. So I've even tried it myself, and I only know what I know because I've made so many mistakes, but I've tried myself doing an ad about a coach sneak peek, about joining my team, joining my business, and I did it to a targeted market. Okay, and it bombed. It completely bombed. And I thought, why did that bomb? Because that's like I consider that like my target market. And I very carefully chose it. But then I thought, it's my target market, yet that market, they don't know me. They don't know my name. They've never seen my post before. They don't know what I'm about. They don't know who I am. Why would they want to join me in business? I'm the one that's always telling my team the people that join you in business are the people that know, like, and trust you. Putting up an ad in the newspaper or putting up flyers at the coffee shop, people seeing, an ad to join you in business, they're not going to join if they don't know you. They're too skeptical. I wouldn't join because I've seen an ad in a paper, join someone in business and trust that they're going to mentor me and whatever. No, I need to know. I would rather say, oh, it sounds like a great business. I'll find someone I know and do it with them, right? So that's why that ad bombed. So I just had to add that. So you have that ability with a like page to do the Facebook ads, and that helps you grow your network. So you can do an ad that promotes just liking your page, so you get more likers on your page. But you really want to specify your target market. Don't just say every person that's in health and fitness. No, narrow it down to an age group. Narrow it down to maybe all people that like a certain brand that you love or a certain store that you love. Really think about like the market that would all like that particular thing. Is that your market? So you wouldn't want to just say, well, I love running, so I'm going to market to everyone who loves running. Well, think about it. You probably aren't like-minded with everyone that loves running, right? Narrow it down. You'll have much, much better results. The other thing with a like page that's so great is that you can schedule your posts. Now, one of the biggest complaints in this business is not having enough time. There's not enough hours in the day. When I was building my business, I was working full-time, working around the clock, and I was stressed about my job. There were certain days where I couldn't do anything Beachbody related, not very often. I usually would make time, even if it meant getting up, 4 a.m. But there were some times where I just couldn't get anything done with the business. It's so nice now that I have a like page and I have a day like that, I can schedule posts. You can schedule posts with a like page. Yes, you can schedule posts with an app like Hootsuite or something like that, but those don't get as good of traction. And the other thing that doesn't get as good of traction is if you have your Instagram post go to your like page. I don't do that either because that doesn't get as much traction. Now, if that's your only choice and you know that that's the only way you're going to get something on your like page that day, then that's okay. I think that's better than nothing, but it does not get as good of traction. I highly recommend that you create your posts maybe on Saturday morning or Sunday or whatever and schedule them to go up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I usually have scheduled posts that go up in the evenings on weekdays because I know I'm with my son. I'm making sure he's got his homework done. I'm with my husband. We're making sure that he's getting ready for bed and that whole routine. And I don't want my mind to be like checking my phone and, oh my gosh, I've got to get my post up because 9 p.m. is such a great time, to get a post up. So scheduling those posts to happen so that they do happen and you can be where you need to be when you need to be there. It's still your words, but it takes you so that you can be present with your family when you need to be, right? And so scheduling your posts is huge. And the other thing is, insights. I'm looking at my notes. You can do insights with a like page. So it shows you who is finding your page, where they're coming from, and the age group, the location, all these insights, all of these things that you can look at, whereas you can't do that with a personal page, obviously. And the other thing with a like page is that Google search connects with like pages. I remember when they were about to launch Beachbody's pre-workout, I think it was actually before they launched E&E. I don't even think it was with this last one with Energize. It was E&E, and I was Google searching something about pre-workout drinks. And the first thing that popped up was another coach in her like page because she was talking about pre-workout drinks in one of her posts. And so it brought me right to this other coach and her like page. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know she had a like page. And naturally I clicked like on it. But it brought me from my search to another coach right on Google. It showed up on the first page of Google. So that is very cool. And so your insights on your like page show you where people are coming from. Are they coming from Google search or where are they coming from? How old are they? And what are they into? Are they mostly men? Are they mostly women? With mine, of course, it's like 99% women, which is great. It shows me I'm hitting my target market. So all the great reasons of why opening a like page is important. I don't feel like Facebook is going to go away. Facebook, I mean, they're doing some really smart things and they've got some new functionality that's coming. And so even though there's some things right now that I feel is really frustrating about a like page, don't get me wrong. There are some of my posts where I'm just like, what? Why was that such a popular post on Instagram and yet on my like page, like no one liked on it, no one commented on it, and then it's I have to believe it must not have made it to the news feed for some reason, and sometimes I don't understand why. And so sometimes I feel like Facebook like pages don't make sense in what they're doing. But other times I feel like it's a blessing to have that, to at least have that other platform where you can get across your message and be directing people to that, because it's like having a blog that is super simple. Blog to set up can be complicated, but this is like super simple. So those are like the benefits of having a like page and why I think it's important. And I think like pages are going to get better, but you do have to be ready to commit to it. You have to be ready to commit your time. You have to be ready to commit a little bit of your finances, because I really feel like Facebook ads are important. You can't just be doing your like page and not be doing any Facebook ads. And I'll be honest, I feel like the $10 ads don't really go anywhere. Like a $10 boosted post, I don't really feel like that's a good investment. I feel like if I'm going to boost a post or do an ad, even if you can only afford to do one a month or one every other month, I feel like $30 at a minimum is what it's going to get it somewhere. That's just my opinion. I'm not a Facebook expert, but it's just what I'm finding. Like the little $10 ones don't get you a whole lot of traction. And I really feel like, and this is maybe one of my biggest tips, when I do a boosted post to those who have liked my page, that's when I get the best results, especially for like a coach sneak peek or a challenge group, because they are people who already know, like, and trust me, because they've already liked my page, they've already seen my posts, they get who I am, and they want to join me in fitness, or they want to join me in business, and because they know, like, and trust me. When I've done an ad, it kind of almost has to be something where it's like introduction to me, follow me for tips, follow me for inspiration. I have to show something that I can offer them or give them for free. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about, is giving people something for free. Give them a reason to want to like on my page and get to know me, because they don't yet. And it has to be something in it for them, okay? They're not just going to randomly like on someone's page. Okay, so if you remember nothing else from this training, there's 6 things that I want you to write down, okay? Because I feel like I'm going to be throwing a lot of information at you and trying to get through it quickly so I don't take up too much of your time. Write these 6 things down that are so critical when it comes to social media in general, not just your like page, but especially with a like page. Number 1, you have to be you. Be you, okay? Don't try to look at all these top coaches and who they are and what they look like and what they say and try to mimic that. Use it for inspiration. I love looking at other fitness gurus and fitness celebrities and top coaches and just kind of getting my head moving. But it depends on the type of person you are. If you're the type of person that does that and you start beating yourself up, but I'm not that person. I could never be that person. I'm not like that. I could never be successful. Then maybe you shouldn't do that. I am the type of person, I do that so I can get ideas. I like to get my inspiration and my ideas going. It helps me be more creative, to see what lots of other people are doing. And I don't ever try and mimic what they're doing. I just think, how is that related to my message or what I want to say to people or my story? And I turn it into something that's me. You have to do that. You have to be you, okay? Because trying to be someone else will be a failure. You can't try to be someone else. You have to be you. Number 2 is to be consistent. You can't just, post once on a like page once a day and think that's enough. It won't work. In fact, there have been weeks that have gone by where I only had like 1 post up per day. And even right now, because I was at leadership, I've been lacking on my like page. And what happens is that does impact your business. I won't have as many inbox messages on my like page today because I haven't posted. The more you post, even if it's about your dogs on your like page, the more people think of you and what it is you do. I can post about my puppy this morning, which I should do that, and someone will message me and go, "Oh my gosh, your puppy's so cute. What kind is it? By the way, I have fallen way off track over this past summer. I know you work out all the time and you sometimes do like these fitness challenge things. Can I be a part of the next one? Can you give me some more information on that? And it's all because I posted about the puppy. Okay, so just being consistent and once a day is not enough. It's not enough frequency on your like page to build up your affinity. When you start a like page, you have zero affinity. Okay, that's why they're tough. You've got to work. You've got to build that affinity up and show Facebook that you get traction and you can get likes, and just keep working for that and keep inviting people to it on a regular basis. Do a YouTube video and invite people to it. Do an Instagram post and invite people to it. Like constantly inviting people to it. You'll see on a lot of my pictures and stuff at the bottom of it, it says facebook.com/Jenelle Summers, because I'm constantly subtly inviting them to it. Or I'll say the recipe at facebook.com/Jenelle Summers, or I'll post something on Pinterest, and when they click it, it takes them to my like page. So it's a constant thing of driving people there, right? And then once you drive them to your like page, where do you want to drive them? To your list. That's the end goal. You want to be able to communicate with people. You want to be able to talk to them one-to-one. You want to be able to provide value to them on a regular basis. And with your like page, they're not going to see all your posts. So you want to have their email address, something that you have yourself, not that Facebook has. Facebook owns your inbox, right? Facebook owns your Facebook inbox. With their email address, you can be contacting them. You can be giving them tips. You could be sending them free things. You can be sending them, obviously motivation. I send the people that are on my list that I collect, I send them weekly motivation and recipes and things like that. But I wouldn't be able to do that if I just relied on hoping they'll see all my posts, right? Because they're not going to see all my posts. I know that. So what you want to do is be consistent 3 times a day on your like page. Now, I know that freaks some people out to have content 3 times a day. Have a posting formula. Maybe it's one post that's about food, one post that's about fitness, and one post that's just funny. So food, fitness, funny. I like that formula, right? Food, fitness, funny, or food, fitness, and family. Okay, something like that, or food, fitness, and faith. Something like that. Have kind of like a formula so that you're not always like, oh my gosh, this is the craziest day. What do I even post about? Don't think about what's going on in your day. Don't think about that. Think about what have you learned over the last week or weekend or this day that you can share. Maybe it was just this tiniest little like aha moment that you had today, or realization that you had today. What can you post? What quote can you put up there as a picture that you can share? So you have to be consistent. I would say 3 times a day. You can recycle content. So the posts that I do on Instagram, if you look at my Instagram, which is just Jenelle Summers, a lot of people can't find it because they spell J-A, but it's J-E. J-E and E-L-L-E. There's all E's. There's no A's. So Instagram and Facebook like page look the same for me. Very much the same, if not identical. Because what I do is I figure out what I'm going to post about, and I post on Instagram first, usually, and I copy and paste that caption, and then I go right to my app for my like page. I have an app that's specific to my like page. It's called Like Pages Manager, or Pages Manager. It's an app called Pages Manager. And so I go to that app right from my phone, and I simply hit paste, and I use the same picture. And the only thing I do different on my like page is that I then start it with a question. Whereas on Instagram, I might not have had a question. On Facebook, I know that they're not going to see the post unless it gets traction. And the post won't get traction unless I've asked them a question, or asked them to comment on something, or said something, or shown a picture that's so funny that I just know they're going to comment on it, right? So I usually ask a question, unless, like I said, the picture I know is going to cause them to comment. So let's say I post about my omelet this morning on Instagram. I can just post the omelet, what's included, send it out there. Hit paste on my like page, but I'll put at the top in all caps, would you eat this or not so much? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And then I'll leave a space, and then I'll put what's in it. And to be honest, most people don't even read the captions, but they'll read that first line. If it's all in caps, then it's a question to them. Some people are like, yes, all day, I love that. I love that meal. Or others are like, ew, anything without the spinach or whatever. People will comment because you ask their opinion. If you don't ask, they're not going to give it. If you think you can just put up a picture of pretty food and they're automatically going to give you their opinion on it, you're wrong. They won't. If you want them to like or share or comment, you got to say something that triggers that. You have to say something that triggers that. It's called a call to action. You're calling them to action, to like, comment, or share it, right? You've got to do that on your Facebook personal page or like page, same thing. So the other thing, so these are back to my 6 main things. Be you, be consistent, be interested. So I always say, it's a quote actually I heard from someone else that I Googled back when I first started my business. I forget his name, but he said something that really resonated with me. And he said, don't try and be interesting, be interested. So in other words, don't feel like you've got to be this big personality and all these amazing things going on in your life and perfect and, just be interested. Because that's what people like. We know that, right? People like people who are interested in them. So be interested in them. And that's why I say ask a question. People don't want you to spew statistics and health facts at them and preach at them. They want you interested in their opinion, their advice. That's what they want. They want to tell you, believe it or not, you might think you're the coach here. They want to tell you what they think. They want to give you their opinion. So the posts that do the absolute best is when you say, which one would you rather eat? This one or this one? Or which one would you rather splurge on? This one or this one? Or which dress do you like better, the red or the black? They want to give you their opinion all day, all day. I remember when I first opened my like page, which by the way, I think I was 2 years into my business before I opened my like page, which goes to show you don't have to do it right away. But the very first post where I kind of tested out this theory to try and get some more traction, I simply asked the question, what is the right amount to tip on a takeout order? What is the right percentage to tip on a takeout order? I put that all in caps, and then I left a space, and then I did a paragraph, and I told a little story that had just happened that night with our takeout order. And that post went viral. I mean, I got new likes on my page because people were going back and forth, and people were hearing my opinion of what happened, and so it brought a lot of visibility not only to that post but to my page. Just because of Ask Me a Simple Question had nothing to do with health or fitness, but there was something subtle in there because I was talking about the fact that we got sushi and we were talking about healthy foods and things like that. So that was in there. So anyone who likes healthy foods was kind of like, I wonder who this person is or what this like page is or whatever. And I'm sure maybe something even popped up on the Google search, but that post went crazy. So that just goes to show when you ask their opinion, you be interested. That's way more important than trying to be this amazing, like over the top, personality or something. They just want you to be interested. Number 4 is to be patient because it takes time to build up that affinity. Usually you can't expect a whole lot of traction until I really feel like, and maybe you'll disagree with me, Brigida, and I know this number probably sounds far-fetched for some people if you're brand new to a like page, but having like 1,000 likes at least before your like page really starts to get some like comments and likes. And I know it's going to feel like pulling teeth at times, but you do a Facebook ad and then maybe some things that tie into your like page, or telling people to go to your like page to be a part of a contest, or go to your like page to be the first to, give you a name for your team, and they all get whoever has the best name gets a Shakeology, little contests and prizes and giveaway things that take people to your like page. There's something in it for them. That's what's key. They're not just going to go to your like page because you're like, hey, open the like page. Will you please come visit? I promise to give you great tips. It's just not enough. They're just not going to take the extra time to necessarily go there. You want to give it something where they see something in it for them, like this, whatever. So be patient for that number to continually build and building that network. Be raw and be real. This is number 5. Be raw and be real. People don't like perfection. They want to see realness. They want something they can relate to. What makes people feel better is when you're saying things that they can relate to and that resonate with them, problems they've had to. But don't just be a Debbie Downer about it. You've got to give the upswing. Like, I've been through this, obviously Brigida's story, it touches so many people, and we can all relate to being at a low point in our lives. And so, her just sharing her story, but also obviously she shares how she's overcome these things and how she's worked through it. And that is super inspiring. The type of people that aren't inspired by that are usually the type of people you don't necessarily want to be working with anyway. You want the type of people that are inspired by overcoming, issues and overcoming fear, all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of people you want to attract. But you won't attract them if you're just putting out perfection. And I eat perfect and I eat clean and I never go this. And by the way, you're all going to get ill if you eat this. And you're just preach, preach, preach. And you're coming across as I'm the expert and I'm perfect. And people will think you're just not being real and you're not being honest. So you have to, put yourself out there. You got to wear your heart on your sleeve. People like to see that. It makes them feel good, makes them feel like you're real. Number 6, lastly, with this is to be informed. Like pages are always changing. They're always changing. So make sure that you are following the social media gurus like Mari Smith, my sister Shalene Johnson. Those are the top 2 for me. Also, like Amy Porterfield is good. So hopefully you got a few of those names. But I pay for their webinars, their conferences. I do all that stuff to stay abreast of social media and what it's doing, because it's constantly changing and it does impact us. So you have to be informed. So hopefully those 6, if nothing else makes sense to you, you've got those down in your notes and that makes sense. Let me check on the time. Brigitte, if I'm going over too long, please just stop me. Because I am going to go into how to open it real quick and then how to leverage it.
You're doing good. Keep going.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So how to open it. So this is very simple. Actually, you just click on home from your personal page. And if you go to anyone's like page, if you know Brigitte's like page, go there. And then I think it's at the top or maybe it's the bottom left, or it might be both places. You just click on create page. That's all you do is click create page. It's not this big scary thing. And it's not like you have to have all these answers and everything figured out before you do this, right? I recently, it's probably maybe about a year ago, I helped my mom start her like page. And she was so worried about doing it because she doesn't feel like she's very tech savvy. And I said, Mom, let's just do it, right? And she's like, well, I don't know if I'm ready. I'm like, you're ready. You're ready. Let's just do this. It's not like we have to invite the world today to your like page. We'll invite people when we're ready, right? But let's just open it. Let's just get it open. It can exist quietly. It's just like when you open up a restaurant. And I only know this because Matt and I did this at one point. We opened a restaurant, just a fun side project we did once. And we had to have a quiet opening, okay? So you didn't tell anyone. So that's like your like page. You just have a quiet opening. You put up your cover banner. You do your profile picture. Maybe you don't like that one. You do another one. You put up a couple posts. Maybe you don't like that one. You delete it. You have some time to play around with it for days or even weeks if you want before you actually announce that it exists. It's not like all these people are suddenly flocking to a like page that you open. You've got time. So don't panic. Just get it open. Start putting some content on there. In other words, your profile picture, your cover banner, and maybe like at least 3 posts. And maybe you don't do all 3 of those posts that one day. Maybe you do them, over the course of a couple days. So it's very simple to open. I recommend that you open it as a public figure. And the only reason I recommend that is because that's what I've heard from other people, is that is the way to go. Because of some of the features and functionality that is different between the different categories, I've always heard public figure is the one to go with. Now, Brigitte, did you hear otherwise?
No, I didn't know. When I started my like page, neither one of my upline figures had like pages, and so I started mine. I didn't know, and I did mine as a community page, and I need to figure out if I can fix that or change it too. So but definitely I'm like pages of notes. I'm like, I'm doing this wrong and this wrong, so this is so good for me. I'm gonna let you keep on going, but no, this is so good to know this stuff.
Okay, awesome. So public figures is the way to go from what I understand. And I think you can change it, but I don't know if maybe you can't change it after you've reached a certain number of likes. Mm-hmm. So I know you have thousands and thousands of likes, Brigitte, so you might be too late to change it, but obviously your like page is taking off huge, so not an issue for you. But definitely when you're opening it, you want to put up a profile picture that represents you. You want it to be bright and clear. You want them to see a smile. I hate to even go here at this point because I know you guys know better, but I've had people do their profile picture where their hair looks gorgeous or their eyelashes look gorgeous or whatever, but they're not smiling. Like it doesn't look like a friendly person, even though I know they're so friendly. I'm like, that doesn't represent you though. Like you're not smiling. She's like, yeah, but my hair was perfect that day. I'm like, yeah, but people that don't know you, they need to see a smile or they just think something else. That people do judge based on what they're seeing and what they want to see more than anything. It's not pretty. They just want to see a friendly. They want to see someone that they think they can talk to, and when that smile just does so much. So I definitely recommend putting a smile on your profile picture. Now with your cover banner, you can use canva.com, canva.com to do Facebook cover banners that are just amazing. You can hire someone to do it for you. Lots of people have really good skills with that kind of stuff, but definitely your cover banner needs to represent who you are. And one of the most important things is that you want right away on your cover banner, it gives you the option to put a description, almost like the caption to the picture. And that's where you want to link people to either an opt-in. It needs to link to somewhere where they can benefit and reach you. So maybe it's your blog. Maybe it's your free challenge group that you're running that month. Maybe it's an opt-in to your free clean eating ebook or your free recipes, crockpot recipes ebook. Something you've created free. It doesn't have to be, we call that a freemium. It doesn't have to be something big and crazy. Maybe you don't have an ebook yet. It could just be a free challenge group. In fact, I might be changing mine so that that's where it takes them. Right now, it takes them to my blog, JenelleSummers.com, which when they get there, it takes them to my ebook. It takes them to lots of other things. So right now, I think I'm going to keep it as that. But if I didn't have that, I would definitely have it taking them to maybe like the link to a free challenge group or a link to an application to be a part of your challenge group or an application to be a part of your team. Something where you can get their contact info and learn more about them, okay? So you could easily create a form. You can use like Wufoo, WUFOO.com. That's a form creating application. There's another one called JotForm, JOT form.com, where you can create a form and it gives you a link. And so you could put that link right in there. Maybe it says, complete this application to be a part of my free challenge group. I would rather do that than to just send people to a link to a challenge group because I personally want to work with people I want to work with. I don't want any crazies. I want to talk to them first. I want to make sure they don't already have a coach. I want to make sure I'm not stepping on other people's toes or even my own coach's toes. So I would rather have an application and have the opportunity to talk to them first. So on the cover banner, something that directs them to you. And then, like I said, add a couple, 2 or 3 posts to your like page. And then, announce it to friends and family via email, via inbox messages. Give them a reason to go there and have them specifically, you want them to click not only like on your like page, but click like and comment on a post that's already there. I hope you heard that clearly because that's so important. People can like your page all day and all night, but they have to like or comment on a particular post on your like page in order for Facebook to see interaction. Just because let's say you have 50 likers or 1,000 likers, if none of them have ever liked or commented on your post, Facebook doesn't see that you interact with this person or that they interact with your like page, so it doesn't bring your post to their page at all. You can ask them. Someone that's liked your page, ask them, how often do you see any of my posts on your newsfeed? And they might say, I've never seen one of your posts. If they don't like or comment on a post that exists on your like page, the chances are low that they're going to see one of your posts. So make sure that when you're inviting them that you're saying, oh, the first people that give me the best team name or the first people that can tell me, how to make this recipe better, or, something where they feel like, they're involved. Engage them in something in it for them. Okay, so let me just give you some do's and don'ts real quick, a whole bunch of them. We're going to kind of fly through these. Do's and don'ts of how to leverage your like page. Number 1, we've already talked about 2 to 3 posts per day at a minimum. Number 2, When you post videos, make sure they are uploaded directly from your phone. So in other words, not a YouTube link, not a link to another video, but a video that you have directly on your phone uploaded to Facebook directly. And even when it's a video, it's really helpful, no matter what the post is, video or a picture, that it has a question or something that will cause them to want to comment or like on it, okay? Because if it's just something for them to watch, just watching you do 21 Day Fix, they might watch it and think, okay, that's great, and keep scrolling. Give them something to like or comment on so it gets to more news feeds. Number 3, don't do links, okay? Now, on a like page, a link will do okay. It'll do really poorly on a personal page if you've got a link in the caption. On a like page, I feel like sometimes it'll do okay, but definitely I feel like the post is better if it doesn't have the link. If there's no link in the caption of the post, I feel like the post is better. So if I feel like I need to share a link, I'll put the link in the comments, okay? So I'll say that and I'll put it obviously in the comments. Number 4, make sure your content is original. It becomes white noise to people if what they're seeing in their newsfeed is like they've seen it a gazillion times. They've seen that girl from Pinterest with the battle ropes sweating. They've seen it, you know. What catches their eye is when it's you, when they're like, oh my gosh, that's Sarah with those, you know, battle ropes or whatever. What catches their eye is they've never seen it before because it's you. So you have to be in some of those pictures and videos, and you've got to be original. So so even if it's a quote, a lot of times I'll take quotes that I love and I'll change them to fit more of a fitness mentality or a lifestyle mentality or mentality as a mother. You know, I'll change quotes to fit how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. There are some quotes, to be honest, are awesome, but they're slightly outdated, you know, or they're not true in all cases. You're like, that's kind of a good quote, but at the same time, so change it, you know, be original, okay? Say things that not everyone's always heard, so it's not white noise. Number 5, open up and wear your heart on your sleeve. Now, it is scary to open up and wear your heart on your sleeve. It's really scary for me because I'm an introvert, and, you know, I lived the majority of my life going, okay, I'm not like Shalene, I'm not outgoing, I don't like the camera on me, I don't like the spotlight on me, like I'd love to just hide and be in my little bubble and leave me alone. And it was really this business that helped me come out of that and realize that it was selfish of me to be in that mentality, because I do have things to offer people. I have learned things. I do have a lot of motivation and fire within me and a lot to offer, and I was holding that in for my own safety, right? It felt safe. So that was benefiting me. It wasn't benefiting anybody else. So I realized how selfish that was of me. So I got out of that. So now I try it every day to just overcome those fears and open up and wear my heart on my sleeve. And of course, always have an upswing. Number 6, I already went over this, but do link your cover photo. So on that cover banner where it gives you a chance to do your description, you can go to my page and see what I'm talking about. Because the very first thing is a clickable link to, I think it's to my blog. So when you go to facebook.com/Jenelle Summers, that's my page, and you click on my cover banner, and then you'll see a link. And I think it says go to my my blog to get my Foodspiration ebook, which you can go get that if you want. And so then number 7, weave in business posts into your page. Okay, I talked about this at Summit too. Some people on their page or even on a personal page are doing all these jabs, which are valuable content, great stuff, and you're never doing the hook. The hook is something that's business related, inviting them to be a part of it. Now, the hook might be an invite to a coach sneak peek. It might be an invite to a challenge group. It might be an invite to, some special just personal development Facebook group you're going to do. Your hook might actually be a shout out to one of your coaches. And that is a hook in the sense that you are exposing them to what it is you do, and you're planting that seed. So in that sense, in my opinion, that's a hook, right? Because I hate using that word hook because it sounds like you're tricking them. I don't know why. But my point is you are inviting them. You're planting the seed. You're introducing them to something that's business related. Okay, so you got to be doing the jabs, but you have to be doing those hooks. If you're forgetting the hooks, you're going to struggle. Number 8, do contests and giveaways. Make it fun. Give them something to be a part of and even want to share with their friends. Hey, whatever. Make your content fun, so do contests and giveaways. Number 9, do Facebook ads and boosts, okay? Like I said, that could be a whole training in and of itself, but make sure that you're learning about how to do that. Number 10, don't feel like everything has to be perfect. Your videos, your pictures, perfect isn't relatable, and people don't like it, so don't feel like you need to be perfect. But do realize that you do have to, present yourself in your best light. If you're not, then you're doing a disservice to yourself. You want to inspire people to get out of their shell. You want to inspire people to get up and get moving. You want to inspire people to feel good about themselves. You want to inspire people to stand up tall and feel proud about who they are. So convey that, if that's part of your messaging. Number 11, do schedule posts. Schedule posts from your life page so that you can stay more consistent even in those times when you know you're going to be at work or with your family. Number 12, don't have Instagram, connected to your life page so that your Instagram posts are going to your life page and that's all you do on your life page. It's just whatever posts on your Instagram, it goes to your life page. I don't recommend doing that. You can post the same content, same picture, same caption, just add a question. Number 13, use some pictures. Use the same pictures. Use the same pictures that you've already used on Instagram if needed. So if you're just now opening the life page, you can go back to your Instagram or maybe even your personal page and look at what was the most popular pictures or videos you did over the last year. Reuse that. Put them on your life page. Okay? It doesn't have to be something brand new. Make the message brand new or make the purpose of the post brand new. It doesn't have to be always recreated from scratch. Number 14, ask legit questions on your life page. Okay, so questions where people have questions that'll be answered with yes or no don't usually do well. So if you were to ask the question, are you happy with your life? Most people are not. They're going to think about it. They're not necessarily going to answer that question. They're not going to go yes or no. Some will, but it's not going to be one where usually a lot of people are going to give you an answer. What does work is when you say this or that. Would you choose, if you had an extra, $100 a week, would you get a personal chef twice a week, or would you get your house cleaned? Like, people love the this or that. They love to give their vote. Or would you choose A, B, C, or D? And someone else will go, none of the above. People love to have those kind of choices. Number 15, message new likers that have liked your page. Okay, send them a message. You can pay that extra dollar to send them a message. I do think it's worth it. Look at their profile first. If you're like, oh my gosh, crazy person, then obviously don't pay that extra dollar. But if you're like, oh, that looks like, she's a mom, just like me, and I think that's someone I would talk to, and then message them and just say, hey, I saw you like my page. What kind of posts do you prefer? Pictures or videos or workouts or nutrition? Ask a question, start a conversation. Number 16, do immediately comment and tag back. Okay, so if you've heard any of my trainings, I always say don't post and run. When you post, make sure that you immediately comment back to anyone that makes a comment, okay? Because that shows activity on your post, and Facebook goes, oh, this post has activity. Let's bring it to more news feeds, even if it's your activity. Even if you're like, oh, that's so funny, Brigitte, thank you. And then you go, oh, and by the way, Brigitte, I forgot to tell you, I loved your presentation this weekend. So now they're like, oh, there's 3 comments on that one post, even though it was mine, 2 of them were mine. It's still activity on the post. It brings it to more news feeds. So you don't want to post and run. You want to get activity on that post as soon as possible. And it's not always possible when you schedule a post and I'm with my son or I'm with my husband or we're, at dinner or whatever, it's just going to happen. That post isn't maybe going to get as much traction. But I find that when I schedule a post and it's a quote, a lot of people share it. And so it is automatically getting traction because people are sharing it. Facebook, when it sees shares, it brings it to more news feeds. It likes to see shares. You don't necessarily want to share. You want people to share your stuff. Okay, so number 17. Don't expect the business post to get as much traction as the other posts. When you post about a coach sneak peek, a challenge group, certain posts like that, they are my lowest traction posts. When I look at Instagram, anytime I posted about a coach sneak peek or the business opportunity, they're the lowest traction posts. But they've impacted my business the most because I've gotten some of my top coaches and leaders from some of my lowest traction posts, right? They still need to happen. Don't be afraid to do those posts just because they don't get amazing traction. It doesn't mean that they're not effective, right? Okay, and so I think that is, other than to say, and I think it's already been said a million times, so I don't think I need to even say it again, but don't be spewing Beachbody, all over your personal page or your like page, because, the reason people want to join this business is because they relate to you and they relate to who you are and the way that you approach this business and the way that you're not salesy and the way that you're not spewing Beachbody and the way that you're not a Beachbody robot. That's what makes them want to do this. They go, this is cool. She's cool or he's cool. I want to be a part of this. I like what they're doing. But if they see what you're doing, people that are considering the business are watching what you're doing and they're going, but I want to do that. What would my family think of that? They're basing their decision about the business behind the scenes on this thought process based on what they see you do. And if what they see you do, if they see what you're doing looks desperate or salesy or pushy, they're going, I don't want to do that. I don't want to become a coach. So they're watching that. So make sure that you're not doing that. Make sure that you're, incorporating all these do's and don'ts. And I think that you'll have a lot of success. So any questions, Regina? Sorry, I went so long.
No, this was amazing. Like, I have over 3 pages of notes here that I've been taking, and I love that in this business that I'm like, there's always so much room for growth. And personally, I'm like, okay, I have so many ideas on things I can do differently to grow my business, which is exciting because I'm like, all right, my business page is going to take off now. My page, if I apply this. So thank you so much. We'll take 1 second. If anyone has a question, send it in the little chat beneath here. Or we can post it in the group and I can also ask Jenelle and have her come back. So you'll have to type fast, anyone. How to schedule post. Go ahead.
It's really simple. You actually go onto your like page and you start typing it out as if you're going to do the post right now. So you type the caption in, you attach your picture, but then before you hit post, you hit the little icon that looks like a clock. And that's where it allows you to schedule it. And so even though you're writing it right now and you've got your picture and you're all ready to go, you can say, you know what, 4 o'clock on a Monday is not going to work because for me, like in the afternoon, it doesn't do as well. So if it's a post that I really want to get out there, I'll say, I'm going to post this Monday night at 9 p.m. or whatever. So I just schedule it from that little icon.
Perfect. All right, you guys. Thank you so much, Jenelle. Like, honestly, this has been like golden information that I'm like, this is why, I don't find as many people from my like page as I should because I need to change these things. So thank you so much. It was an honor to have you on this call. And I will post this recording in our team page. We are doing the trivia like we do each call. And so check our team page, and we've got some questions for you on this call with opportunities to win the prizes. So get in our team page. And Jenelle, thank you so much. It's been an honor having you on this call. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Such an honor. Have a great afternoon. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.